Hi guys, this is GM the Life Coach. We are doing a new type of podcast today. This one's going to be a phone interview, which is the first of its kind for me. But it went really, really well. This interview's with Daniella Blechner, and she will be letting us know about her journey, about her company. I won't tell you any more. We're just going to get into it in a second. So I just want to thank you for all you listeners. Please share with your friends, like and subscribe if you can. I am GM the Life Coach. You can find me at Spreaker.com, Spotify, Facebook, Instagram, and coming to Apple Podcasts soon. So just let you know, I am GM the Life Coach. Hi guys, it's GM the Life Coach. We're going to do a new thing now. We're going to be doing a phone interview. This is the first one. It's going to be with Daniella Blechner. Let's get it right. She's the author, book journey mentor, founder of Conscious Dreams Publishing, and she is a fantastic lady. So, how you doing? You all right?
I'm good, thank you, Gavin. How are you?
I'm really, really good. Really, really good. So, let's crack on, shall we? So, tell me, why did you start Conscious Dreams?
Why did I start Conscious Dreams Publishing? I just feel that, I'm passionate about providing a platform for women especially to have their voices heard and stories shared. And I thought there's so many extraordinary or, ordinary, everyday women who were overcoming and achieving extraordinary things who weren't getting heard and weren't getting out there, weren't getting that attention from the mainstream media. Mm-hmm. I also recognised that we published all men and women, all backgrounds, races, religions, faiths, ages. Our youngest author's 13, our oldest author is coming up to 70. So we welcome everyone. But I feel especially in terms of mainstream publishing, just a statistic for you right now, if you look at children's books, only 1% of those books feature a protagonist who is from a BAME background, black and minority ethnic background. And I'm really passionate about changing the face of that and reflecting society in all its beauty and diversity, and empowering authors through that process as well.
So when did you start it? When did you start it up?
When did I start it? I started it up in 2015. Well, I mainly set it up because I wanted to publish my own book. I had my own sort of book journey before that, trying to get a traditional publisher and realising, actually, do you know what? I researched the market, I researched everything, and I just set up my own company and published my own book in 2014, and then set it up as a company in 2015, official company, and then actually started properly mentoring and providing publishing services in 2016. So about 3 years now.
Wow. What were the obstacles in starting? Did you have any obstacles?
Obstacles?
Yeah.
Where to start? So many. I'm doing this full time now. I do a bit of freelance work as well. Yeah. But the obstacles I found really were being able to manage the time. Yeah. Working full time or working part time at the time, I think it was, and running a full on business and starting it. Other obstacles were just getting the pricing right. I've not done this before. So getting the pricing right, forming those packages. I don't really see them as obstacles. I see them more as challenges as part of the journey. So I wouldn't say that there was anything that stopped me from actively doing it all happened organically. I had people coming to me after I published my book. I had lots of people with their amazing stories coming to me saying, how did you do that? Can you put me in touch with this person? Can you put me in touch with that? Can you help me publish my book? And I was doing it as a labour of love. And then I realised, they then became bestsellers in some of their categories and did really well with their books. And I realised actually there's so much more that I can offer, coming from a teaching background as well, teaching how to publish, doing workshops, mentoring. So I think it was just forming all of those things and working out, what is our brand? Who are we? Who are we serving? What packages are we going to offer? How can I add the most value? So these are the things that I had to really think about more. But in terms of obstacles, there isn't one. I think our minds are the biggest obstacles, and I was just passionate about doing it. So I would say that there was none in that respect, just challenges.
Oh wow, okay. So when you do your mentoring, what kind of questions do you get? Questions that you get that kind of people sort of are worried about in terms of entering into a journey with you.
Yeah, questions that keep coming up.
Yeah.
How do I market my book? How do I promote my book? I often give free 30-minute consultations, and I speak to people who've already published a book, and they feel doubt around it, publishing another book, because they've gone through the process, published their book, and it's just sat on, let's say an Amazon shelf and not done anything because they haven't promoted it, they haven't marketed it, they haven't got that knowledge or understanding how to do that. So I think it's that trepidation of, well, how am I going to get it out there?
Yeah.
So that's why we run courses. I've got a book called what's it called? The Book Journey Mentor's Guide to Self-Publishing Workbook and Guide. It gives you all the information about how to market your book, how to promote your book, interesting ways and strategies to really push. Because that first year of having that book is the most important. It's how you nurture its journey. You can't just print a book and leave it hanging. You've got to just get it out there. Other questions are... one major mistake people make, I think, is thinking they can do it themselves, edit themselves. I'm an English teacher, you know that, Gavin, but there is no. When I first had my book edited, I got it back and I was like, what the heck? Things you miss. You don't have that objective eye, and it's not just about proofreading, it's about tightening, it's about the flow, it's about the style, it's about making sure that the content edit is right and the structure flows. And I think as an author, there's only so much you can do. You have to, and a lot of people also pass it over to somebody who's good at English. Again, don't do that. Hire professionals. So it's really, really important to you get one chance with your book, and that's it. It's got to be to the highest standard.
It's true. I remember reading, not to slag anyone off, but I went to read 50 Shades of Grey. And one of the ladies who I was seeing at the time, she said, "Come read this book." And I must have read maybe the first couple pages, and I just felt like the grammar, I couldn't get around the grammar, so I couldn't get into the situations. Do you know what I mean? And there's other publications that I've read. I'm just thinking, my gosh, that actually passed through. So I can feel exactly what you're saying in terms of get it looked at.
I hear that.
So that's interesting that you were an English teacher and even you felt like you needed to, you looked at it again and thought, oh my gosh,
Of my own book, because I know myself as well. I can be quite wordy, and I can be, I mean, yes, obviously there's typos and things like that, but I think that they help you just to really tighten up and get your message across clearly. They go, a line edit, for example, is the deepest kind of edit you can get. They literally measure word by word by word, every single line. Do you need that word? Is it necessary? Have you used two words where you don't need to? Are you repeating yourself here? And when you're writing, your job is to channel whatever you want to channel from your heart, or wherever it's coming from, get it onto the paper. And then you need that objective view of somebody who literally, that logical person who is reading through what you're writing and separating the wheat from the chaff, shall we say, old time saying.
So what is that process like? Is it like the person writes the whole book and then it gets analysed, or is it every chapter? How does that work?
No, so we work with people who've finished the first draft, so we're always looking for manuscripts that educate, inspire and empower. So they'd make a submission, and if they're successful and we feel that they've got content there, they've got a story there, they've got something that's coherent and we can work with, then we would go through the first edit, but it would be the whole manuscript first. We do have a book writing coach though who helps before they even get to that stage. They help them to kind of lay out the structure, get the headings down, and they might then work with them looking at it chapter by chapter. But in terms of coming to us as Conscious Trees Publishing, we work with those who've finished their first draft. In the workshop that I'm going to be running in July, there is a session on how to structure your book. So again, is working through that chapter by chapter, and there is an accountability package at the end of that, which means that you've got me for 90 days, a bit of 90-day mentoring. And so then I may look at different chapters here and there, but generally when people are making submissions, it's the whole manuscript. Right.
So that 90 days is during the time the person's writing the book, yeah?
So with the workshop, it's a 3-day workshop, and each day focuses on a different aspect of the publishing process. Not so much the publishing process though, but the book journey. So the first workshop is all about looking at the message, the why, the market, looking at how to structure a book. The second workshop is run by Hadi Philippi. She's awesome. She is founder of Clarity Media. She's running a session on how to get media coverage for your book. We've got another session run by a transformational coach who's one of our authors as well, actually. #1 international bestseller. She's awesome. She's running a session based on her book and a technique she's founded called the expansion game that helps you to transform your fear into brilliance. We've got a vision board session with myself, another session with Simone Vincenzi, who runs a session on how to monetize your story and expertise. So once they've done these 3 days, there's an option to do a 90-day accountability package. So they're paired up with another partner. They've got an individual goal. So it might be to finish their manuscript. For somebody else, it might be to plan their book launch. So whatever that is that they want to achieve in that 90 days, they give themselves objectives and goals along the way. I check in with them each week. If they want to send me chapters, if they want to send me blurbs or anything to look at, I'm there for any advice and mentoring for those 90 days. And their partner also checks in with them as well, just to keep them accountable, to make sure they're doing the things that they say they're going to do.
That's nice. All right, so where can we find you? Where can we find all this beautiful stuff?
All this beautiful stuff. My website is www.consciousdreamspublishing.com. You can find me on Facebook under Danny Blechner, or consciousdreamspublishing.com again. I'm also on, Instagram, Conscious Dreams Publishing. I always try and keep it simple. Then you've got me on Twitter under Dreams Conscious, and LinkedIn under Daniella Blechner. I'm around. Just put in Conscious Dreams Publishing somewhere, you'll find us.
Yeah, I feel really bad. I've been saying your name wrong for the past goodness knows how long now.
What have you been saying, Gavin?
I've been saying Blechner. It's bad, isn't it?
No, I get all sorts. I get Belcher, Bleacher. I'm just thankful that you know, it's Blechner. It's all good.
And guys, when you listen to this, there's some really good stuff on Facebook, some really great pictures, some inspirational people, having that moment of getting their book realized, and the looks in their faces, some happiness, some tears, some really great stuff. So listen, Daniella, I want to thank you for your time doing this podcast interview. It's not the traditional way I normally do things, but I still love it all the same. So I want to thank you so much.
No worries. Thank you very much.
All right. Enjoy. So we're going to do some more stuff, right?
Well, I am offering free 30-minute consultations, so do get in contact with me, and I'll be happy to do that as well. Wicked.
All right then, this is GM the Life Coach. We're going to finish here, and you can catch me. This is when I'm advertising myself now. You can catch me on Spreaker.com, Spotify, iHeartRadio, and Instagram and Facebook. So seek me out for any more updates, and also I'm going to be doing some life coaching stuff as well. So seek me out there at gmthelifecoach.business.site, and hope to speak to you soon. All right, see you later, guys.
GM the Life Coach, only on Spreaker.com, Spotify, YouTube, and iHeartRadio. Like, share, subscribe now.